Sorry, you guys, I'm just gonna put this on the website.
Everybody okay?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
you got, here, I'll set up, everybody can unmute until we start. Hold on a second, let me go. Hold on a second. You guys can all unmute yourself. We got like 5 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm counting.
Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, that's better.
Better.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it once he starts though, because it's really not good.
Right.
Every year around this time of year, my thoughts turn not to the prayers or to the dozens of people coming into the sanctuary. I think about where can you get a good teglach these days?
Oh,
Is it
I used to
possible to
make
get a
it.
good?
I make it sometimes.
I
Oh.
used to make it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
My dad
Love
loved it.
When you're coming back?
Me? Not till the middle, till the late of October.
oh. Well, you can have a teglach in October. There's no law against it.
We can.
They're good.
Very good. Thank you.
A lot of things they change and you can't get so easy. Not everybody bakes like you bake still, Rita?
Not really. No. I wait till Gail bakes.
My heart was frozen already. I started cooking and baking and
When Hanukkah has new meaning because of Gail's menorah cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they're very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Hi, Judy.
Hi,
Judy.
Hello, Judy.
And Judy. All right, so let me mute. Okay, hold on a second. They changed this whole thing here, so it's a little confusing. All right. I'm gonna mute everybody. Sorry, you guys, including myself.
Okay.
You can talk,
Oh.
Rabbi.
Okay, here we go. It's 6:55. Let's get started. I like to start my classes early, even when I'm late. It's very difficult, but we do the best we can. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Lachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Lai 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 la 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 Baruch Uni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon Mimelech malchei hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Zechem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon Mimelech malchei lachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu La 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 Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. Page 14, soul-made loving God, compassion's gentle source, take my disposition and shape it to your will. Like a darting deer, will I rush to you. Before your glorious presence, humbly will I bow. Let your sweet love delight me with its thrill, because no other dainty will my hunger still. How splendid is your light, illumining the world. My soul is weary, yearning for your love's delight. Please, good God, to heal her, reveal to her your face. The pleasure of your presence, bathed in your grace. She will find strength and healing in your sight. Forever will she serve you, grateful with all her might. Die, 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 yada, die, 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 yada, die, 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 yada, die, die, die. Yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die die die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die. Stan, it's a lovely camel, I must say. I've seen camels, but that's a camel's camel. Okay, page 15. Lichu niranina, lichu niranina, lichu niranina, ladonai. Lichu niranina, lichu niranina, lichu niranina, ladonai. Naria, naria, itzuri shenu. Kadma fana bitoda, naria, naria, utsuri shenu, izmirot naria lo, lechuneranina, 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 ladonai, lechuneranina, 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 ladonai. Hi, Roseanne. Good Shabbos. All right, let us sing to Adonai. Let us rejoice in our Creator. Let us greet God with thanksgiving, singing psalms of praise. Together, Adonai is the foundation of all life, exalted beyond all that is worshipped. In God's hand rests the world he fashioned. Sea and land, abyss and mountain peak, all are God's. Let us worship Adonai, exalt our Creator, our God. We are the flock guided by God. Help is ours even today, if only we would listen to the divine voice. Harden not your heart in the way of your ancestors who tried and tested my patience in the wilderness, even though they had witnessed my miracles. 40 years of contending with that generation led me to say, they are wayward, they care not for my ways. In indignation, therefore, did I vow, never would they reach my land, the land of peace, the land of rest. Last 3 lines. Arba'im shana kut bidor, Va'omar am to'e levaveim, ve'hem lo yadu derachai, asher nishbati v'yapi, im yevon el menuchati. Let's do the next psalm on page 16. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, pasru miyom liyom yeshuato. Reading silently, Sapur. Higadol Adonai u'malal nod, norahu al kol Elohim. That literally means, for God is great and greatly to be praised, and he is awesome above all the gods. That was because at that time people still believed in several gods, and God was considered the only one and the greatest. Lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek, v'yamim b'emunatu. Okay, continuing now. Page 18. Where are my tissues? They're not here. Sorry. They're still not here. Sorry about that. It's not a very big room, but I can still lose things in it. Sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. God's might has been triumphant, revealing supreme power to all. Together, God has remembered his steadfast love and faithfulness to the house of Israel. The whole world has seen the triumph of our God. Let all on earth shout for joy and break into jubilant song. Sing praise to Adonai with the harp, with trumpets and horns make a joyful noise. Let the sea roar and all its creatures, the world and its many inhabitants. Let the rivers applaud in exultation. Let the mountains all echo earth's joyous song. Adonai is coming to rule the earth, to sustain the world with kindness, to judge its people with fairness. Lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz. Yishpot tevel b'tzedek, v'yami b'mei sharim. Page 20, the Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Avul Adonai, b'nei Elim. Avul Adonai, kavod va'oz. Avul Adonai, kevod shemo. Ishtachavu Adonai, behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al amayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, kol Adonai ba'koach, kol Adonai behadar, kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaber Adonai et arzei halavanon. Vayar kidem kimo egel, Livanon v'sirion, kimo ven reimim. Kol Adonai, chotzev lavotesh. Kol Adonai, yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai, midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yechol elayalot, vayechesof yarot, uvehechalo kulo merkavod. Adonai lamabul yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech liolam. Adonai oz v'yamo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Page 21. Lecha dodi likvat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabila. Lecha b'nei Shabbat nekabila. Keep and remember, both uttered as one, by our Creator beyond comparison. Adonai is one, his name is one, reflected in glory, in fame, and in praise. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabila. Come, let us greet Shabbat, Queen sublime, fountain of blessings in every clime, anointed and regal since earliest time. In thought she preceded creation 6 days. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabila. Page 22, the fourth stanza, please rise. Bohi v'shalom, ateret pala, gam b'simcha uvtzala, tochem unei, am segula, bohi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabila. All right. Page 23. Mizmor Shir, Shir Yom Shabbat. Mizmor Shir, Shir Yom Shabbat. Reading responsively. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God, together to affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp. Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation. How vast your works, Adonai. Your designs are beyond our grasp. The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this. The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever. Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble. But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed as with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God. They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant to proclaim Adonai is just, my rock in whom there is no flaw. Od Yenavun b'seva adeshenim rananim iyu, lagid ki asher Adonai, suri v'lav tabo. All right, at this time I'll speak about the Torah portion. Let me just move ahead to the Baruch Hu. Kitavo, Torah portion is called Kitavo, which means when you come. God is referring to the Israelites and telling them they will enter the land, they will conquer it, they will take it over peacefully, howsoever they do it. And the situation is more or less parallel to today, when Israel is struggling as to how to conquer the land, to what extent should they conquer the land, what about the people who are living there already? It's all politics. I'm not going to go into it right now. But Moses tells the people of Israel, when you enter the land that God is giving to you as your eternal heritage, meaning that Israel belongs to the Jews. There's a famous story that when Arthur James Balfour, the foreign secretary of the British Empire, was speaking to Dr. Chaim Weizmann, and they were grateful to Weizmann because he had invented dynamite. Well, he didn't invent dynamite. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite, but he invented a dynamite that you could make in chemistry, and it helped them win the war, the First World War. And he said, "How can I reward you?" And Weizmann said, "Your sir, Mr. Secretary, you are in charge of all the forces of the British Empire, and I would like you to use some of those forces to get the state of Israel for my people." And Balfour, who was a very religious man, a deeply religious man, said, "How can you prove that this land was given to you?" And Weizmann walked over to the bookshelf and took down a Bible. He said, "Anywhere in this book you look, it says Israel belongs to us." And it's right there in the Bible, and people tend to believe the Bible. So that's a very good thing. But here, they're talking about the social services, the social welfare part of living in Israel. How can they deal with the fact that some people will be rich and some people will be poor? Well, they even up the poverty by having the poor people take 10% of the produce and the cattle that is brought to the Holy Temple as a sacrifice. This was given to the poor people, and I'm sure they didn't kill all the animals. They would give them to raise for their own flocks. And you will bring the first ripened fruits, the bikurim of your orchard, to the Holy Temple and declare your gratitude for all that God has done for you. Now, this is kind of out of sync because right now we're coming into the fall, and in normal parts of the world, which are not Florida, Florida is anything but normal. But the fact is that they do have fall, and in the fall they have harvest. That's what we had a few nights ago, that beautiful full partial eclipse, which most of us missed because it was behind the clouds. But take my word for it, there was an eclipse, and that was a super moon or a harvest moon. It seemed as big as it was because it was closer. So this is the time of the year when people start thinking about the harvest, the final harvest. It's actually more Sukkot than it is Rosh Hashanah, but that's because the Torah and the seasons don't always sync. Our parsha includes the laws of the maaser. That's 10%. 10% of the cattle and the produce which the Israelites brought to the temple would go to the Levites and to the poor, and detailed instructions about how to proclaim the blessings and the curses. The blessings were proclaimed from Mount Gerizim, and the curses from Mount Ebal. And this was discussed in the Torah portion of Re'eh. Moses reminds the Jews that they are God's chosen people and that they have chosen God. So this is a marriage. This is a marriage. And marriages don't always go smoothly. Some marriages do, some marriages don't. And this marriage, which the Jews have enjoyed with our God, has been going on for centuries. And I think for the most part, it's an agreeable relationship. But every so often, God throws us a ringer, like October 7th, which anniversary is coming up and which we will be commemorating. The next part, I just wanted to say that they're talking about bringing the produce and the cattle to a temple. There is no temple at this time. The Israelites have not even proceeded over the Jordan River in order to conquer the land. There is no temple. The temple will not come until the year 1000 BCE, when Solomon built it. David was told he wanted to build the temple. He was not given this privilege because his hands were bloody. He had conquered the land and he had expanded Israel to its largest extent then as now. Now we are dealing with a very large portion of land given to Israel, but in those days it was even larger because David had conquered Lebanon. He had conquered the land from the river Jordan to the sea, to the great sea of the Mediterranean, and as far south as the Negev and part of Egypt. And that was the biggest extent to which Israel ever spread. But at this point, we don't have a temple. The temple, as I said, will not be built until the year 1000. And until then, people get by with neighborhood shrines. That was the subject of my rabbinical school thesis. From shrine to prayer. How did we get from shrines, from neighborhood shrines, to the mighty temple in the middle of Jerusalem? And what was the importance of the fact that they had these neighborhood shrines? Well, the shrines were sort of like individual synagogues. There were places where the Israelites brought their children to welcome them into the covenant. There were places where kids celebrated their bar bat mitzvah. There must have been some sort of bar bat mitzvah in its prototype. And this was long before they would lock up the farm and go to Jerusalem to bring the offerings to the temple, because the temple did not yet exist. What else? This is the last part of Kitavo is the Tochacha, that is the rebuke. If the Jews follow God, if the Jews observe the covenant, if they follow the Torah, then everything will be fine. If they do not, if they fall away, God will punish them. And I don't like using that as an excuse for the suffering of Jews throughout the centuries. It wasn't because there were Jews who stopped being religious. There have always been Jews who clung to the covenant. There have been Jews who fell away. But we still go on. We are still God's chosen people. God will never cast us off. And this is a long, harsh account of all the terrible things that will happen if the Jews do not follow the Torah. But I personally think that's exaggerated and that these things never actually did happen. There were times of conquest, there were times of suffering, but the Jews have always gone on. We are an eternal people. Das ewige Jude. That is the eternal Jew. And I think I take that very, very seriously. It's a responsibility, but it's also a privilege. And finally, Moses concludes by telling the people that only today, 40 years after they became a people, have they attained a heart to know, eyes to see, and ears to hear. Unless you are cognizant of the Brit, of the covenant, unless you are aware at all times that you are a specially privileged person, and this does not obviate the privileges of other religious groups, but rather we are the first people to believe that God is one. We are the first people to believe that God loves us and that God protects us. And we must continue to believe this, regardless of what may happen. All right, let's go on Any questions? I don't think we have any questions. Oh, there's Jordan. Okay, this is early for him. Okay, let's do the Baruch Hu on page 28. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. L'olam voed. Amen. Be seated. Well, in honor of that eclipse, which sadly we didn't get to witness, we're going to read the responsive reading on the left-hand side below the line. Light and darkness, night and day, we marvel at the mystery of stars. Together, moon and sky, sand and sea, we marvel at the mystery of sun. Twilight, high noon, dusk and dawn. Though we are mortal, we are creation's crown. Flesh and bone, steel and stone, we dwell in fragile temporary shelters. Grant steadfast love, compassion, grace. Sustain us, God. Our origin is dust. Majesty, mercy, love endure. We are but little lower than the angels. Resplendent skies, sunset, sunrise, the grandeur of creation lifts our lives. Evening darkness, morning dawn. Renew our lives as you renew all time. That is really one of my favorite readings by Rabbi Harlow. Beautiful piece. All right, page 29. Avat olam beit Yisroel. Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al ken Adonai Eloheinu shachvei u'vekumeinu nasiach bechukecha ki hem chayenu orech yameinu v'yorech yameinu uvahem Neged Yomam V'Layla V'Avatcha Tasir Mimenu V'Olamim Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Hamo Yisroel. Page 30 is the Shema. Cover the eyes. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch, uncover the eyes. Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto, V'Olam Voed. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day you shall take to heart. Teach them diligently to your children, and recite them at home and away night and day. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, as a reminder above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Page 32, the Michamocha. Michamocha, Vahelim Adonai, Michamocha, Nedor Ba'Kodesh, Norat Hilot, Osef Ele, Achut Charovanecha, Okeyam Lifnei Moshe, Seili Anu V'Amru, Adonai Imloch, L'Olam Voed, V'Nemar, Kifada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugealo Miad Chazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ro'al Yisroel. Amen. Page 33. Thinking about Kenneth, oh boy. Kenneth Trembler. Okay, who is not well. We pray for his recovery. Ken Trimble, that's it, Trimble. And the other names?
Rita, go ahead.
I'm with you. It's Kenneth Tribble, whose late wife Chana was a long time wonderful member of Temple Shalom. Paul Dobbs, Sheila
Sheila
Booth,
Bergman,
Nancy
Nancy Borden,
Jeffrey,
Elisa Pepper, Vince and Patricia Massey, Jeffrey Stern, Sonia and Herb Yevsky. Refuah Shalema. Any other names? Just keep them in mind. Yes. Thank you, Stephen. All right, let's read the English paragraph on page 33. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praise to you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, over Jerusalem and the entire world. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, aporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim, v'al kol haolam kulo. Amen. Page 34. V'shru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat sod et ha-Shabbat lidot b'rit olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat sod et ha-Shabbat lidot b'rit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti liolam, oti liolam, oti liolam. V'shemru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat sod et ha-Shabbat lidot olam. V'shemru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asod et ha-Shabbat tot brit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz v'shemru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asod et ha-Shabbat lidot brit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vaynafash, shavat vaynafash, shavat vaynafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat sod et ha-Shabbat lidot brit olam. The half Kaddish, please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Yalmad yivrach hirute v'yamlich malchute v'chaye chon uvyo omechon uvchayet kol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv v'yemeru. Amen. Yeheshmei Rabba Mevora Liolam Liol Meol Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach Yitboar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh Yitadar Yitaleh Yitalam Shmei Dekudisha Brichu Liela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata tushbecha tavene lemata damiran bi'alema v'yimeru. Amen. Page 36b to page 38, the Amidah, the standing silent prayer, after which you may be seated.
Rabbi, unmute yourself. There you go. Okay.
Okay, all set. Thank you. Page 47. Let's read the English paragraph. The heavens and the earth and all they contained were completed. On the seventh day, God finished the work he had been doing and ceased on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and called it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Oel Agadol Gibor Vanora, El Elyon Konei Shamayim V'Haaretz. Gain Avod Bidvaro, Chaye Metim V'Mamaro. Oel HaKadosh Kamohu, Ameniach Liamo, B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho, Kivam Ratzah Lehaniach lahem, Ivam Ratzah Lehaniach lahem, Lefanav Navod B'Yirav V'Fachad, B'Nodeh Lishmo B'Chol Yom Tamid Me'ein Habra. El Ahodot Dod Hashalom V'kadesh HaShabbat Vorech Shevi Umeniach B'Kedusha Le'amedu Shnei Oneg Zecher Lema'aseh V'Reish. Page 48. Let's read the English paragraph. Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot. Let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness. Gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts that we might serve you faithfully, lovingly and willingly. Adonai, our God, grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so that our people Israel, who hallow your name, will always find rest on this day. Praised are you, Adonai, who hallows Shabbat. And the full Kaddish. Yitkaral Yikara Shemei Rabbah. Amen. B'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamliach malchutei. V'chayin chon of mechon of Yidachol Beit Yisrael. Agalav Isman Kariv Yimru. Amen. Shmei Rabbah Mevarach. Liol Me'ol Maya, Yitbarach Vishtabach, Goar Vitromam Vitnase, Vitadar Vitale Vitalol Shmei Kudesha Brichu, Le'elam and Kol Berchata V'Shirata, Tushbachata V'Nechamata, Tamiran Bialma V'Yimru, Amen. Kabal Sloton Uvoton D'Cho Yisrael, V'Namavon D'Vishmaya V'Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabba Min Shemaya, L'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'Yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael V'Yimru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael, v'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Imru Amen. Page 49 is the Kiddush. Savrim Ornon Rabbanon Rabbotai, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, borei pri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yavav ratzachilanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reshi. Yehu yom techila l'mikrae kodesh, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Bacharta, Yotanu Idashta, Bikol Oamim, B'Shabbat Kadshecha, B'Ahava Uvratza, Inchaltanu, Baruch Atah Adonai, B'Kadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim Shalom. Have some fun. Okay. Yalenu, page 51. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asan kegoye haratzot v'lo samanu mishpachot hadama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu v'chol hamonam v'anachnu karim Mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yosei haaretz yoro b'shamayim imal u'shchinatu zo b'gavei miromim Eloheinu heino Emet Malkeinu Efesuato HaKadosh B'Torato B'Adataya Tataya Mahashevota Elavavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim B'Shama Mimal V'Al Haaretz Mitachat Eino V'nemar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz V'yom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad Mourner's Kaddish. If you're not saying Kaddish, you may be seated. Yit Kadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Amen. V'yolma divrach irutei, v'yamliach machutei. V'chayei chon, v'yamei chon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. V'agalo, v'zman kori v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach, li'olam u'meil maya. Yitborach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpo'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei d'kudesha, brichu. Li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, v'shbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol Yishvei Tevel v'imru amen. Now a few well-chosen words from our wonderful temple president, Rita Fleming Klein.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Rachie. I see you. I am Betsy. It's lovely, as always, lovely to be with you on Shabbos. It's a beautiful way to start our weekend together and our Shabbat observance. All of a sudden, next week is going to be Slichot already. I don't know where September went, but I know October is rushing very quickly toward us. But we at Temple Shalom are prepared. We're prepared for you on Zoom for all of our high holiday services. We're prepared for you live for all of our high holiday services. And we're working hard to make sure that, as always, they are the most beautiful services on the planet, in the Swedish shul on the planet. The rabbi has been working very hard putting together the program for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. It takes a tremendous amount of planning. And I'm so grateful to Rabbi, our wonderful Rabbi, for everything he does and how he sees to the well-being of our spiritual lives. And he does it with humor, and he does it with questions, so that all of our own very personal questions are relevant, and our rabbi makes them relevant. And some questions have answers, some questions don't have answers, but the questions themselves brought forward by our rabbi make for thoughts during the week, from one Shabbat to another, and a lot of questions that come up. So you have the gratitude, Rabbi, of our whole congregation every day, all of the time, and especially on holidays. So I'm looking forward personally to celebrating 5,785 years with you, and celebrating our history, and God willing that we all have a healthy, a happy, and a little prosperity wouldn't be so bad either. And that God should see to it that our country is safe. And that's all I'll say in that direction. But and you know where my heart is, I know where your hearts are, and it's all for everything good and beautiful in this world. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rita. Always appropriate, always full of, you lead with your heart, and it's a wonderful thing. Okay, on page 54. I know it's, we've done this before, but it's kind of cute because it's appropriate since we're saying goodbye to 1 year and saying hello to the next, using a well-known tune. We don't have Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians, but we can do pretty well by ourselves. Adon Olam Hashem. Oh, I'm sorry. Adon Olam Hashem. Malach b'terem kol yitzir nivro li'eit nasa v'chetzo kol azay melech shemo nikra v'yacharei kitlo takol levado yimloch melra Ehu haya v'hu v'ehu yeh b'tifara v'hu echad yen sheni lehamshilo lehachlira v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'hamizrach v'hu eli v'chai goali v'tzor chavli v'etzara v'hu nisi umanosli v'nat kosi v'omekra v'ado afkid bruchi v'etishan v'ayira v'im bruchi yeviati Adonai li v'lo ira V'imruchi geviati Adonai li Elohira. Shabbat Shalom. And now please rise for the closing benediction. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Your heir Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. The Lord turn his face into you, grant you peace. We'll say Amen.
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 Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey,
Shabbat
Shabbat.
Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat
Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shabbat
Shabbat,
Shalom.
Shabbat,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbat.
Shabbos.
Thank you so much. So great to see everybody. Everybody looks good.
Right, tomorrow. Have a nice night. See you all
You
tomorrow.
too, everybody. Good to see you.
Shabbat, whoever
Fifi
Fifi is, just
Okay.
left. Does anybody know who that was?
What?
Fifi
Somebody
fell?
Fifi fell. Anybody know who that was? He just said Shabbat
No,
Shalom.
I don't know any Fifis.
We're not getting any.
Wasn't that with Pepe Le Pew? That was his girlfriend.
No, this is a guy.
No, I know it's a guy.
Yeah, all right, well, we'll find out. All right, good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you, Doreen, as always.